Plaintiff Cassandra Nelson is suing her former friend for an unpaid cable bill. Cassandra says she and the defendant met in a domestic violence shelter because they were both being abused by their boyfriends. But defendant Nicole Rodriguez says Cassandra continues to return to her abusive relationship, and that's why she can no longer have a friendship with the plaintiff.
Cassandra Nelson is suing Nicole Rodriguez, her former friend, for an unpaid cable bill and court costs. How are you today?
Good, thank you, Your Honor.
Why are you here?
I met Nicole in the end of 2007 in the domestic violence shelter. I voluntarily went in July of 2007 because I had a history of abuse in my life, choosing bad relationships. My ex got drunk and put a car seat into my stomach when I was pregnant.
He did what?
He was drunk, got mad, and threw a car seat at my stomach, and I was pregnant with our first child. The baby survived. I went to the hospital. There's just a little bit of spotting, but everything was okay with the baby. And then the most recent one that kind of woke me up was my ex-boyfriend hit me so hard in the ear that my eardrum ruptured, and I went to the hospital. I did try to make a police report, but the police said that they were too busy to come to the hospital. So that's when I decided if I didn't make a change in my life, that if I wasn't going to help myself, nobody else was going to do it for me.
What police department and what town is this?
Saginaw.
Saginaw where?
Michigan.
And when did you, when were you in the hospital that you called?
It was...
Give me a month.
The end of June, I believe, of
this year? Of 07. So you're at the hospital. What's the name of the hospital?
St. Mary's.
You're at St. Mary's Hospital, and you call the Saginaw Police Department.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've got a ruptured eardrum
Yes.
from your boyfriend assaulting you.
Yes.
And the police don't come because they're busy?
That's what they said, yes.
Do you understand, Cassandra, that the police are there to protect you? And when they don't, you have to protect yourself. And one of the ways that you do that is by making that department accountable. What any woman should do in that situation is, number one, make a complaint to the department, get the name of the police officer or whomever it is that you spoke to or whatever time it was, and then just move right up the line. And you know what? If you don't get a response from the police department, you go to the mayor. And if you don't get a response from the mayor, you go to the district attorney or the chief of police. No woman should ever have to hear from a police officer, "We're too busy to deal with you because you're just a battered woman." That's outrageous. And make sure that you demand that you get justice next time. Okay,
so that's when I decided to make the change and everything. I went to the domestic violence shelter in Saginaw, and I started using the programs there. I was able to go through counseling and everything like that. They help you get a house, help you get back on your feet, show you the red flags. I met Nicole at the end of 07, I believe it was, and we instantly clicked. She had a vehicle at that time, so she would take me to her mom's, and we were able to, hang out and get away from the drama at the shelter and everything.
Why are you shaking your head?
Because personally, that's what I fell for, the I'm sweet and I'm innocent act, and that's not the case. If she saw the red flags and was done with her abusive boyfriend, why was she still back with him?
Oh,
why is that part of the
Nicole.
reason why I didn't want to be her friend anymore, is because I couldn't deal with all her bad decisions. She's constantly doing that.
Were you not in that same shelter for battered women?
Yes. And that's,
how dare you criticize another battered woman?
Because if it was so bad, why does she continue to go back?
I'll tell you why women go back. Women go back because they think the last beating's going to be the last beating, and because hope springs eternal, and because they love them, and because they believe them when they say they'll never touch them again. Women go back because they have children together. Women go back because they live together. Women go back because maybe they're married and they think that they're supposed to be better wives. They blame themselves. They've lost their self-esteem. Don't you dare put her down because she went back.
Then why is she still in the same situations?
I'm not, Your Honor.
Yes, you are.
She just said she understands. Look, Nicole, why were you in the shelter?
I have 4 children, and I had a psycho boyfriend myself.
Okay, so you were in a shelter because you were with a guy who was abusing you.
Yes. And now he's not in the
Do you know
picture.
she could just as easily stand here and criticize you?
She can criticize me. That's fine. But the situation is Cassandra hasn't learned her lesson. And that's why I'm not friends with her, because I cannot watch a friend continuously make bad decisions.
Why are you suing her?
Back when we were friends, she created a MySpace for me so I could start, meeting more people in Saginaw and everything. One of the counselors there, she was leaving. She was, became one of my good friends. I asked Nicole to help me out because I'm not familiar with the MySpace and all of that. And that's when Nicole got angry with me, said that she's paid to listen to me, that she's not really my friend. She doesn't really care. That's when I was very upset because I considered Nicole my best friend.
Right.
While we were friends though, because I moved into my apartment at the beginning of February in 2008. And she moved into her house, a couple months after that. So I know I was already, getting established. I already had, my cable turned on, my phone turned on, all of that. And she was short on money. She already, owed some money out or whatever. So I decided she asked me to help her out and put the cable and the telephone and then the internet in my name, and she would pay the bill.
Okay.
And after the MySpace incident, she quit paying on it. And Charter, which is the company, kept contacting me saying it's going to be sent to collections.
Do you have any evidence of that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, let's see it. Okay, collection notice, Charter Communications, Cassandra Nelson, $251.32. Nicole, talk to me.
Yes. I met Cassandra in the women's shelter. We became friends. I didn't think it would turn into like the single white female type of situation, but that's what it did. She bought
what
the
do you mean
same
by
clothes
that?
as me. She got her hair done.
But don't
We're not
you
friends.
see that as a compliment?
No, I don't. I don't see that as a compliment. Each person is their own individual self, and I'd like to be me, and I would like for my friends to be themselves, not try to be me.
All right.
The friendship weighed on me. She made very bad decisions in life and in her boyfriend. She was a very needy friend. I pretty much would have to tell her when it was time to go. Because she would always be around. She was jealous of the family life that I have. And it was just, it was
Were you
too
jealous
much.
of her family life?
No, Your Honor, there was plenty of times where she got mad at me because I didn't want to go to her house, because she would have issues because the shelter was angry with her because she had people at her house she wasn't supposed to be having over.
Your Honor.
Like who?
An ex-assailant of hers.
No, my ex-husband, Your Honor.
Which happens to be an ex-assailant.
And the reason, she's got it all wrong. The reason why I would become upset with her is because she would want me to leave my 4 children and come and hang out at her house. I have 4 kids. That's where I'm at.
So I find it fascinating, Nicole, that, you want to criticize her when you've gone from one battering guy to another, and she's done the same thing.
I don't really feel that I'm criticizing her. It wasn't
Yes,
about
you are.
criticizing. It was about that I don't want to be around that.
Yeah, well, nobody cares if you want to be around her, but you criticized her in my courtroom, and I didn't like it, and I don't like it, and don't ever do it again.
Okay.
Okay? All right, now, the issue is the cable bill.
Right.
You don't think you should pay for it?
Well, the thing is with the cable bill, like she said, she's my friend. She wanted to help me out. She calls me up one day and is like, your cable will be turned on Wednesday. I'm like, cool, I need cable, so that's good, So anyways, and I feel like the only reason she shut the cable off was revenge because I didn't want to deal with her anymore. I mean, it was very stressful.
When you turned it on for her, what was the agreement?
That I would put it in my name because she wouldn't have to pay the installation fee, but she would have to go ahead and pay it every month.
Okay.
And I didn't turn the cable off. Charter turned the cable off because the bill was not paid.
Yeah, it's in collection. Okay, so let me ask you a question, Cassandra. You went from a guy who hit you when you were pregnant
Yes.
with a car seat, and then you were with another guy who hit you and ruptured your eardrum. What do you think it is about you that causes you to connect with these men who try to exercise such control and abuse you?
Honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with self-esteem. I really do. I gained a lot of weight when I was pregnant with my first child, even before
But when
that.
you want to go out now with a guy, Do you see certain signs that you say to yourself right away, this is a guy who's going to abuse me, or this is a guy that I have to be wary of because of what you've been through?
Honestly, sometimes it's easy to see it. Sometimes it's not.
Do you feel the same way, Nicole?
Yes, but I think at the same time, like once you're in a situation and at the point that you see that it's not good, get out. Why would you, when you know the outcome is bad, why stay in it? And her, I mean, her last boyfriend that we're talking about had murder charges. I can't have the type of guys that she's with not around my kids.
I understand that, and I absolutely agree with that. I agree with that. Is he charged with murder right now, Cassandra?
No, he was found not guilty.
Are you with him?
No.
Do you let him near you?
No, I actually, to be honest with you, I have a PPO against him.
Your
and
Honor,
that's when
about
we
the
were
PPO.
still friends.
Yeah, what about the PPO?
The day she needed to serve this man with a PPO, and I went with her, me and my daughter. We're there. These people, he had a bunch of people over. They see Cassandra. They start running, throwing blows, miss her, go into the car, almost hit my daughter.
Why are you crying?
Because I don't really care to deal with this. I don't care to deal with her. She is the most stressful person. This act she's putting on is a lie.
You know what's dangerous. Whether or not you connect with Nicole, I don't care about. And you know what? It's the underlying case here is really nothing compared to what the two of you have been through. And I'm proud of you. You got into a shelter. You got out. You're protecting yourself. You're each whole. Whether you're friends or not, I don't care about. But I want you to be whole again, move on, and be in healthy relationships. If there's something going on, Cassandra, your antennas need to be up. Look, this issue is about an unpaid cable bill. The plaintiff is seeking the $251. I'm going to give it to her. You owe it to her, Nicole. I don't care how it ended up. The bottom line is you were paying for it, and then it was turned off. But you know what? That is nothing compared to where the two of you can go from here. You've been at the bottom of the valley. Just keep moving up the mountain, and life hopefully will be better for each of you. Verdict for the plaintiff.